Hi. Hi,
Hi.
hi, Ton. Hi, Carolina. This is
Good evening. Hello. Nice to meet you again.
This is beautiful. It's great to be here together. And we want to come together so we can talk about this beautiful Gong workshop that we are
Cooking up.
and planning.
Yes, good.
So for anybody who hasn't met you, Ton and Carolina, well, they are our beautiful colleagues and teachers
And friends.
and
Family.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Family. We go way back.
yes.
Yeah.
And Ton was really the one who started making these instruments, the singing bowls and then the gongs. And so this is fantastic. And we just had this, so many people have enjoyed making the bowls.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of them haven't actually met you yet. And then a lot of people have been asking to make gongs. And what we've been finding is that actually making gongs during a bowl workshop is quite challenging.
Yes.
And it takes a lot of extra energy.
Yeah.
And so we were kind of going like, actually, what else is possible? Can we create a special Gong workshop with you, with all of us, so that more energy is available, more facilitation is available for people making gongs? And we focus specifically on these
amazing instruments.
Yeah, they are amazing instruments.
Amazing instruments.
So what I would love to ask you, Ton, is to speak a little bit about these particular gongs.
Yes.
See them at the back. They are very specific. They're different than flat ones or the pasty ones that of the corners. I call them tone gongs because that's beautiful tone. Heather calls them.
And actually, as I understand
gongs.
it, your name kind of means tone. So I tend to call them gongs.
Yes. Okay.
And bringing them both together, we're just
Gongs.
Yeah.
Say it again, Carolina.
Yeah.
I also call them gongs.
Gongs. So that's the Dutch.
Yes. So interesting, because in the past, people called me, my family, they called me Tone.
Oh, really?
Yes, interesting, eh?
Okay.
But the sides part.
Yeah.
Yes, the Gong, yes, they are amazing. It is my own design, of course. I working for many years with sound, and it began when I working with children, and I love children. I working now at least 45 years with children, and when I had my lessons, and I was gave a lesson in art and of course sound and music. So, and then it was in the Steiner school, and I love to do that kind of lessons. Not the singing, I don't like that, but another story. But and I want to have nice sounds for the children. And then I discover it is not a good sound. It is not that sound.
What they had.
But I try to find other instruments, but I cannot find them. So that is a question for myself. And then I start to make an instrument for myself. And that is a journey from now at least 35 years. So from discovering technical and energetical and personal, because it is not separated from each other. So, and I've got a lot of experience, and what's special, the gong you see in the background is the beautiful sound instrument. And I love it because it's full with sound. And there is something magical, because it is technical is not really difficult. And technical, everybody can do that. But
I disagree.
Yes.
I disagree.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
You
No,
mean,
but
Not so
you mean
easy.
to say
yeah,
any
but
ton-
everybody. Yeah, but
Any ton.
everybody can do that. Everybody can, with help and good
Of
support,
course, yeah.
you can do that.
A lot of help.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes that it's interesting, this design, because the normal gongs, if you see them, they have most a flat and then a curve. On the
That's
outside.
right. That's right.
And every time when I began to find a good sound, and I was not satisfied because I've got the feeling the sound is sketched, is not free.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I discover if you make the soul and the bubble, we call it the soul in the center, that is made for, of course you can beat the bubble or the soul for making sound, but it is made for keep the sheet, keep it straight. Sorry, keep it straight.
You mean flat?
Yeah, I mean flat and the straight. So, and then I discover, oh, that is interesting, because something you need to have to hold that sheet in a good form and keep it flat. And then I discover, and it is a long journey, that every time I make a beautiful sheet and then a soul inside, but it is still bubbling, and it is like a wackel. It is not really straight. Then I discover you can make a double soul. You can see in the background, you see the big bubble, and there is another, yes, that part. So, and that makes that the sheet is straight. And of course you can say, yes, that's double soul.
That one too.
That's one
Yes,
too.
yes, yeah.
I find it fascinating that this word soul, the sound of that word is, of course, also the word for the sun.
Oh, yeah.
Every time, from the very first time I saw these gongs or I heard these gongs, I'm totally aware of the energy of the sun. They radiate. So the very first time I encountered this particular gong that you're speaking of, and then almost all of them since.
Yeah.
This very first time I was in a small space with you, and Gabriela was there and a few others were there. And when you speak about all of the other voices that started to sing, literally, through this instrument, I was for the first time hearing audially, and my body was experiencing sounds from metal, unlike anything I've ever heard before. But it was as though the chorus was the chorus of the universe. The entire universe was singing as though the whales and the dolphins were joining in with the angels, were joining in with the highest birds, and so many different aspects of what sound can really produce. And I found in this meditation experience that you were taking us to, that the tears were so free of any emotion. There was no emotion. This was just my body weeping and releasing so much, so freely. And I think that continued for quite some time, well into, after the meditation stopped, in the most easeful way. And I still, thank you so regularly for these open experiences with how sound is recognized by our bodies.
Yeah, I agree. And I play now more than 15 years with this gong. I've been traveling over whole Europe. And every time there is no concert, and it's the same as the other concert. Every time it looked like the gong make connection with the people, the audience, and make a connection with the people there and play for them. Of course, I do the physical stuff, but the rest is every time I was surprised. What are you doing now? What is now exactly that connection? Why are you changing? Why you go so deep? And I play everywhere and all kind of people. So but there's no any every time is the same. There's everything every time different.
Yes.
So I love that. I love that. And this
with all the gongs, isn't it?
yes, really
Yes.
sensitive.
Yes.
Really sensitive. And I think it's a part of the because we make a connection like that. We make a real deep connection. And that is something magical.
That's the same as the singing bowls, the new one and the old Tibetan ones, because the meditation and the intention gives something deeper, something more.
Yes,
and that then it makes the connection with the audience.
Yes. And that is and something that I cannot really understand. I know it works.
It happens.
It happens. Indeed.
So.
And I've got no idea what is now exactly. I know, of course, and because you can feel them, and when you're working on it, you feel the spirit of the metal. You feel the spirit of the fire and the water, and especially the sound beings, the angels of sound. You invite them. And if you don't believe about angels, it's not a problem.
That is not at all.
They come.
We can leave them in the realm of the unnamed, and yet they're still there.
Yes, no problem.
So, Ton, I wonder what would you say that someone who wants to make a gong, what is the invitation? What does it take to go, okay, I'm going to make a gong?
Thank you for that question, because then there's more for me the center of everything. Because gongs making is big joy. It is really joyful.
So there's a reference to it's not a small bowl, but it's a great place to start from something a little bit smaller than this, to get a sense of how to work with the metal. And this is what we really bring forward. There's a thing of beauty here. There's not a technical thing.
And you can see it is a part of the gong. That is the soul. If you turn around, you will see the beautiful form in that. It's really interesting. So it looks like a bowl, but it is not really that. No.
Oh. And I've heard you say, Ton, that it actually takes a very clear sense of will and energy, a lot of clarity and a lot of to go and make a gong.
Yeah, and that is, I'm glad with the question, because the greed is something what we don't want. And you must prepare yourself with a good intention, because of course you want to make a nice instrument, and it is okay. And if you want to play it for many people, I love that. That's the reason why we do that. We want to share a lot of knowledge that other people can share sound with other people. But back to the question, the preparation is important. So you need a kind of an intention. You can call it like an question to yourself. So why won't I make a gong? And what is the reason I have so passionful to have an instrument like a gong? And of course the sound is beautiful, and there's many harmonics in the gong. Agree, but behind that is that greed, and that is not what I want. I want to have a clear intention, and that means that we must look to ourselves. So I tell it is also an emotional part from discovering a part of yourself. You can say, if you see with big words, it is a way of living. So you learn about making sounds, not only your own connection, but also the connection with the sound world and other people. So, and that is something, and there's a lot of wisdom in there, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Wow,
there is,
cool.
but there's also a degree. So there's a degree of inner strength that is asked for, because we're looking at a 4-day.
Yeah.
4-day intensive, really, but not like it's intense. It's more.
No.
It's an immersion, an intensiveness of presence with your body.
Yes.
You know, it's our bodies that make these instruments. It's our, you know, our willingness to be present with every aspect of nature and creation that would like to assist in the process.
Yeah. Mm.
And physical
and
strength.
4 of us will be there in different ways to support different aspects of that, you know, of that journey for each person. What did you say, Gabrielle?
And physical strength.
Exactly. So the physical
inner
strength, but for a small gong, which is would it be a small gong that most people would be looking at making for the first time, a gong?
Yes, about that size. Well, yeah, maybe a little bit bigger.
Maybe also the size, the other one.
On the background.
One size bigger.
I don't know.
It depends. It depends of what people did before.
Yeah. That's actually about 28. Well, that's quite good. What is it?
40 centimeters.
40 centimeters.
Yeah, 40, that's good. It depends how handy people are.
Exactly, what they've done before.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. So that there are many.
So between
things.
30 and 40 centimeters.
Yes,
okay.
and it depends. Sometimes you.
This one's 26. It's actually small.
26.
That's even 26.
Yeah, it's very.
Yes.
Can you show me? Can you?
I'm not sure. Does it translate?
Beautiful.
Does it translate?
Yeah, great. It is more than only a gong. It is a real journey.
Just to let people know, yes, this is about gong making, but it's also about this particular workshop that we're inviting people to come and be participants in, if they're feeling their call strongly, to contact Gabriella or I for bookings. The dates are, I think it starts
12th to 15th.
The making starts on Sunday the 12th of August and goes right through to the end of the Wednesday, the 15th of August. But we have an idea that maybe something special will happen on the evening of the 11th. Perhaps a big sound weaving experience with the 4 of us.
Yeah,
that's wonderful, great. Big space. So we might welcome you to Yorkshire via opening up this wonderful sound space where you bring your amazing gifts as well as meeting our amazing gifts, and the instruments come together and we can have fun. Would that be fun for us all?
Yeah, there's a big party.
Right.
We love that.
We love that. Yes.
So we'll have a beautiful meal. I'm going to do the food for the first time in a couple of years.
That's the real reason I'm coming. Yes.
So we're having a kitchen party throughout the days. So there's and the land itself, just so that everybody knows, it's called Fellage Farm, and it's a very generous space, and it's on a big hill that slopes down, and where we get to camp and maybe even do the work, we're not sure, is in a lower landscape that has, central fires. There's a teepee space. They do a lot of community there. There's eco showers and
great.
And it's beautifully cared for, and a lot of people come and have community camps there, and it's a really generous space.
And it's called
great.
It's called Fell Edge because it's on the edge of the fell, which is on the. It's like a rocky,
outcrop of the moors.
Of the moors.
Edge
of the moors.
Oh, sounds good.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Beautiful walks that you can do from there up onto the high.
And there's a river.
There's a river down below
that can be walked to.
Great.
And big walks in a river, and also I often perceive very many ancient energies. Lands that have been lived in for thousands of years. There are ancient stone beings that have been celebrated and acknowledged, and there's a lot on offer. It doesn't have to be all about picking up the hammer
Yeah.
No.
It's also,
Yeah.
it's a gorgeous place to be.
Yeah.
Good.
It's just a beautiful
And
place
with
to
the
be.
sound, we always create
Great.
sound meditations in the
That's good.
mornings, and the evenings can be,
That's right.
well, the evenings could unfold in a really beautiful and creative
Storytelling
way.
with fire.
Storytelling, or we can also reading an old bowl,
Or
Yes.
some,
if you like that.
or we can, I've got enough possibility to show the people what is now exactly sound and what it means that's
Right.
in your body and what is exactly what you feel. So everything is possible. And working outside in the fields, I love it.
Yeah.
We all buy workshops we give. We give it in Spain and in England, many places, but also in Belgium and in Poland and everywhere. In the future, Sweden, always in the nature. So, like your place, thank you.
Yeah,
That
well,
we can do that.
Total pleasure for us with
Yes.
Resounding Earth to invite you both to come and collaborate with us in this thing that we've been wanting to do for so many years.
Good.
So
Great pleasure.
we'll, we look forward to people coming and signing up and joining
Yes.
us. It's going to be what Ton says, party time.
Party time.
Yes.
Apple pie.